want to talk about the meeting in Sharm el-Sheikh today, the one that Trump did with all of these Arab leaders, and whether or not it can work to bring some sort of peace to Gaza. And so far, what we're seeing is that Hamas is reconstituting itself and cementing its rule via executions and killings and intimidation, and that it is basically returning to control large parts of Gaza. And at the same time, there is a question whether or not the countries that signed on to the deal, Egypt, Turkey, Qatar, and other countries that came to the meeting in Sharm el-Sheikh, including European countries such as Italy, UK, France, and whether or not they can basically somehow actually move this through to the next step through some sort of a buy-in in terms of how do you make sure that the other steps within the Trump plan that was agreed to on October 8th will actually come to fruition. And I think the big question mark is, if they're just going to talk and just going to be in Sinai and then go back and say, okay, we talked, talking is doing, then nothing's going to happen. And the other question mark is, Hamas is the de facto armed force that seems to be reemerging in Gaza. And as I always say, what do they say? Possession is 9/10 of the law or whatever. Hamas has always been able, historically, to basically give the international community this kind of fait accompli of saying, yeah, well, listen, we're here, we're the ones that rule it, so you have to deal with us. And what's happened basically in the past is that all these NGOs and international organizations and everyone is basically willing to deal with them because they see Hamas as the only conduit to giving aid and being able to work with the other 2 million people that are stuck under the Hamas kind of, prison-like, mafia-like rule in Gaza. And so Hamas is working very quickly to consolidate its power. It's used just the few days it's had now since the ceasefire started to already reconstitute itself and kind of reappear and reemerge in all these neighborhoods. And it's working very quickly in a kind of Godfather-like scene, like from that movie where he kills all the heads of the 5 families or whatever. They are working very quickly to eliminate anyone that seems to have popped up that is opposing them. And regardless of the fact that the Palestinian Authority and others are going to maybe condemn this or maybe talk about it, unless others are willing to do something, it seems unlikely that much is going to change. And obviously the next few weeks or months would seem to be key to that. And Hamas has shown in the past that it's quite good at emerging from crises or wars and being able to return to power.